Religious tolerance is not the name of the game in Iran. And now the long-oppressed members of the Baha'i faith are facing an official fatwa. Iran's supreme leaders urging people to shun members of this minority religion. It's now 5 years since the arrest of leaders of the Baha'i faith in Iran, and the Australian family of one of them is appealing for their release. GRAUE reports.
Roya Kamalabadi is Baha'i, living in Australia after being forced to flee religious persecution in her home country, Iran.
A Baha'i has the love for all humanity and believe in the unity of mankind, and we believe in the universal peace.
But followers of the faith in Iran, the very country of its birth, claim their doctrine is under attack.
It is difficult because when you do something to the benefit of the community, to serve the community and try to educate them, sometimes you get arrested and put behind the cells just because you're doing that, just because of being a Baha'i.
That was the fate of Roya's sister, Fariba. She's one of 7 senior leaders of the Baha'i faith, now serving a 20-year sentence in an Iranian prison.
My sister Fariba, she's an angel. She's a most serene, most sacrificing, forgiving and selfless person who dedicated her entire life to the education and service to the fellow countrymen and the whole humanity.
Many of Fariba's family now call Australia home, including her 29-year-old son Varga and his young Filipino wife.
Varga and I, we got married on the 2nd of May 2008, and the arrest happened on the 14th. So we were actually coming back from our honeymoon. When we came back, we heard from family that, Mom was taken. And we didn't know what it was, and we didn't hear any information for the next few weeks and months.
They claim, in fact, the group was held for 20 months before any charges were laid. And in 2010, after 6 brief court sessions, they were found guilty of being spies for Iran's sworn enemy, Israel, committing propaganda against the system and spreading corruption on earth. Their charges their family and supporters categorically reject, including their lawyer and Nobel Peace Prize recipient Dr. Shirin Ebadi, who's now in self-exile in London.
The
court case was a parody. If we'd had a court that was independent and fair, they most certainly would have been freed. But unfortunately, the judicial system in Iran is not at all independent.
5 years after her arrest, Fariba's family remain concerned about her health, but say she remains mentally strong.
She makes some things in the prison. They need clothes and things like that. She has a label of the prison Evin as a memory that's where she is coming from.
But the Baha'i community insists the story of Fariba and her colleagues is by no means uncommon. They claim Baha'i followers have been denied basic human rights since the 19th century, cemented by the fact their religion is not even recognised now by the Iranian constitution. The Baha'i international community claims it has evidence to prove that in the past 8 years since hardliner President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was first elected, more than 660 Baha'i have been arrested. There have been 52 cases of torture in detention and more than 50 cases of physical assault, and nearly 100 attacks on Baha'i homes, businesses and cemeteries. And critics accuse the Iranian government itself of sanctioning the violence.
Unfortunately, none of the people who have violated the rights of Baha'i people in Iran have been prosecuted for their actions, and many, if not all of them, were carrying out the orders or instructions of the government itself.
It's close to impossible to independently verify many of the claims. The ABC has attempted to contact Iranian authorities but has had no response. But it's previously on the record of rejecting such accusations. Australia's foreign minister's one of many international politicians who's voiced concern on the issue.
Both in Australia and in Iran, we've called for the protection and promotion of rights to freedom of assembly and expression, respect for gender equality, the repeal of the death penalty, and the rights of ethnic and religious minorities to be upheld.
And in early May, he stepped up the Australian government's rhetoric by calling for the immediate release of the 7 Baha'i leaders. It coincides with a changing in the guard in Iranian politics, with the swearing in of the new president, Hassan Rouhani. Political prisoners should be freed was a common chant during this year's election rallies. The new president's a moderate Muslim cleric with big promises of reform.
The respected people of Iran voted positively for moderation and distancing from extremism. The thinking and executing core of the government will be based on moderation and wisdom.
And Varga and his family are hoping that moderation could lead to eventual freedom.
I hope that the new president will also be able to deliver on his promises and is able to foster that unity and care and loving relation between the Iranian people, free from any discrimination, and try to really move Iran towards a better future.